Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to go over changing all the fuel lines in my John Deere 318. This will also cover some other similar models as well. With most of these tractors being over 30 years old, fuel lines are definitely an area that needs a lot of attention on these. I just got done replacing mine, so now I'm going to go over it, give you some tips and tricks on doing yours. Alright, so on these tractors you have two different fuel pickups in the tank. You have a primary fuel pickup, which is this one right here, and a reserve pickup. You need to replace both of those. Also, while you're doing the fuel lines, you want to replace the rubber grommets where the fuel lines go into the tank. The part number for the rubber fuel grommets is this one right here. It's the M149638. You need two of those. In addition to that, you have fuel pickups that are in the tank. You have the primary fuel pickup, which is this one right here. Part number for that is AM39548. And you have a fuel pickup that also goes on the end of the reserve, which I don't have the bag handy right now, but I'll make sure I put up the part number and a picture of it on the screen. So I recommend starting back here at the rear and working your way up to the fuel valve. That's where you change from the primary pickup to the fuel reserve, and just doing the lines one by one so you don't get them mixed up. So what you want to do is go ahead and start with the line you're going to pick. In this case, I'm looking at the primary line, and that'll end up over here on the right side of the fuel valve. And what you can do is you can use a barb fitting or tape or something like that. Disconnect it on one end, doesn't really matter which end it is. Connect it to the new fuel hose to the old fuel hose, and then pull it through. You might end up in a couple snags up here. Just be patient, be careful, don't pull too hard or you might pull it apart, and then you'll have to try to feed it through. And once you've fed that fuel line through, you bring it up to where the connection goes into the tank. You can pull out the old connection. For the primary one, what you want to do, I'll use the old grommet as an example. That's what I did anyway. Is just go ahead and put the grommet in by itself first, wiggle it in there, and then take the pickup and gently, because this screen is pretty delicate, gently feed it through. This is while the grommet's in the tank, and then push it down. You might want to use a little bit of grease or oil on the fitting just to help it go in a little bit easier. When you do the reserve pickup, there's actually a small fuel line that goes down to the bottom of the tank. You're going to want about 5 inches of Tygon tubing. I forgot to mention that all this fuel line is 1/4 inch inside diameter. The black fuel line is going to be a 1/4 inch outside diameter and about a 1/2 inch outside diameter. And then this is just your regular 1/4 inch Tygon tubing. Like I said, you need about 5 inches of that. And it's a little trickier to feed this into the tank. So what you want to do is put the new pickup on the bottom, and you kind of have to assemble this before you put it into the tank. What I did is I put the Tygon tubing through about that far, and then fed that down to the tank, and then got the grommet to go in. Because if you try to have the metal pickup hooked up to this and in there and try to fit it in, it's not going to want to go in. So let it stick up a little bit like that, and get the grommet into the tank, and then take the metal valve and hook it up, and then push it all down in. Up at the valve end, you need to take this whole side cover off and get the valve out here to where you can work with it. Like I said, this side over here is going to be the main pickup. This is going to be the reserve hose. And then this hose right here is the one that ends up going over to your fuel filter and eventually the carburetor. This is pretty self-explanatory here. Once you feed them up through, connect them, make sure you give yourself enough length so that you know that it's going to reach to where the valve normally rests, which is about right here. When you get to the fuel line that's going to go to the carburetor, it's going to kind of do this the same way that you did the other ones. Pull this hose off, connect it to your new fuel line, go over to the other side, feed it all underneath through, and out there's a grommet over here that I'll show you in a minute. Alright, so the fuel line I was just talking about, it's going to feed out through this grommet right here. It's going to come over and it's going to go to the left side of the fuel pump. You can go ahead and replace that too. And then when the fuel line, then it comes out of the fuel pump. Hit your fuel filter here. Now it's a good time to replace your fuel filter too. And then you'll move on to the carb. You'll have to remove all the air filter assembly and everything to get to everything there. Did find it a little bit tricky to feed this fuel line through this hole in grommet that's right here. It seemed like the fuel line was a slightly bigger diameter than what the factory used. So I would recommend using a little bit of grease or something like that on the outside of the new fuel line and inside the grommet to help you feed it through. Otherwise, it just wants to push the grommet out. That's pretty much it for all the lines that actually carry fuel. There is going to be one more 1/4 inch line that goes from the back of the fuel pump to the engine, and that's a vacuum line that operates the fuel pump itself from the engine pulses. I'm not really going to get into that in this video. I'm going to do it at a later date, and I'll do a separate video just for that. So you're definitely going to want to siphon the gas out of the tank, get as much out of it as you can, because you will find that if you don't, whenever you try to push the new fittings and grommets back in, you're going to have gas coming out, because those do come pretty close to where the fuel level is if you don't get it all out. Again, for parts, you need 2 of the new rubber grommets, 1 of each type of fuel pickup, about 5 inches of Tygon tubing, and a little bit of patience. Overall, it's not a bad job to do. I definitely recommend it for doing it to tractors that are this old, especially for the fuel lines that go up under the hood. I noticed that the fuel lines under the hood were way more brittle and deteriorated than the ones that are out of the tank, and that's due to the extra heat from the engine. This isn't something you want to let go so long that you have a fuel line rupture under the hood and end up starting an engine fire and you lose the whole tractor. So it's worth a few bucks to get them changed. While you have the seat pan off, there's lots of other different stuff you can do here. You can clean the tractor, degrease everything. There's fittings for the drive shaft you can grease and other ones too. Something else I recommend while you have this off is make sure that your relief valves on the hydro pump aren't stuck. I've had 2 different 318s now, and both of them were stuck because people just generally don't use those valves. Those are the valves you use you actuate them to be able to push the tractor when it's not running. Both of my tractors were seized up, so I had the fender pan off. I was able to go ahead and free those up as well. All right, so I hope this video was helpful. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.